What's going on, guys? Bladezilla here, and as promised, the fourth of the F3 latest series from Shirogorov in the Brown Alutex. So I got another batch of these in, and I decided I need to get a quick video film to show this in its glory and all its colorway prior to, they're going out of stock. Like these, those aquamarine and emeralds, I stocked up on them like crazy, and they did not last long at all. So I'm kind of expecting the same thing with the Brown Alutex and now the Orange Alutex that just came in. I filmed that one just the other day, and crazy good value on these knives, but this is what we're going to talk about today. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a Coke, a Sprite, whiskey, beer, whatever it is, wine, depending on the time of the day. And I don't know if it's 2024 for you or for past that, 2025 and beyond. We're coming up on close to it now. So at the time of filming this, we're just before Christmas 2024. So if you're watching this around Christmas, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and all that good stuff. So let's get into it here. As always, reminder, bladezilla.ca, that's my site in Canada, in Calgary. Lots of good stuff just added. Some Koenig pinstripes, some Luxas, some Malibus. I've got another stack of ProTech that I need to get out this week. So lots of good stuff coming as well. So there you go. Bladezilla.ca. And you can even see there's the, is that the orange? Yeah, there it is. Orange Alutex. Still have some of those available. So, okay. I'm pumped on this. Big time. I called this originally the red brown, but it's just Brown Alutex. So let's get some measurements and I guess get started. So overall length on this guy, on this Shiro F3, is 8 3/4 inch. That's what I'm seeing. I do not have a spec sheet with me, so I don't know what their claim is, but my measuring tape looks like 8 3/4. Blade length of just under 4 inches. And I believe these are supposed to be 95 mil. And then handle length of just under 5, looks like 4 7/8, something like that. It's a really good size. It's fantastic. Everybody should have one, honestly. Let's take a look at the weight on this guy as well. May as well get a weigh-in. Get that kitchen scale some use. There we go, 0 off. And I thought they were around 4 ounces. Might be more. They are pretty heavy, surprisingly. Yeah, 4.8. Let's just double check. 4.8 ounces. So she's a little girthy, a little chonky boy, which is good though. I guess let's kind of break this down. So it's your liner lock F95. It's kind of the easiest way to look at it. It's titanium frame. As you can see inside, done really, really well. The F3, other than the F3 NSs, have typically been entry-level knives for Shiro. And this one is kind of based on that platform, but they used really, really nice colors, really nice parts. That Alutex scale is stunning. And with the light, I'm hoping you can kind of see it. I'm actually using 2 light sources today instead of my normal one because I'm filming this at lunchtime. And there's a huge window in front of me, so you're kind of getting a couple different ways of bouncing this light around. But the key here is to look at this and go, man, like all the great milling that you get on a Shiro is certainly found on this, but with that inlaid, weaved in aluminum texture, oh, it's just brilliant. It's done so brilliant. And oh my goodness. Yeah, it's really popping nicely right now. I'm just looking at the screen. This is certainly a true color that I'm seeing from what's in my hand versus what I'm seeing on the camera, so that's usually the hardest thing to actually showcase. So this is a pretty accurate representation of the color. Size-wise, in the Shiro line, it's their, I'd say, large knife, right? But it's their everyday carry large. So it's not a 111, where 111's their big guy. I don't have any in the case here to show. But you know, their F95 we have. This is the Hattie, so it's their carbon scaled F95. We've got Stellar, Also, a very excellent knife, full tie. I've got my neon. Do I have my neon, or does it? No, it's here. Just put it back in. There's a neon. The neons, they're small, so I'd always go small, medium, large. And I'd probably do it in this order. Right, so you can kind of see small, medium, large. Or we could flip this around and you could really make it look a lot bigger. Right? Those are the three sizes for Shiro typically, and like I said, there is a 111, which is a 111 mil blade length, which is just a smidge bigger than the 95 by quite a bit, actually. It's a big knife, but it doesn't feel big in hand. It's kind of strange and hard to explain, but the 95, the Stellar, the Neon, they're all fantastic carries for a lot of people. Just brilliant. So put that neon away. We also have one kind of, it's a longer blade with the Astrum, but it's a thinner handle. And I always say it's kind of like a big neon. Let's get rid of this. Stellar. You can kind of see what I'm talking about, how that blade is a little longer, but the handle's a lot thinner. So I'm thinking about doing a video here on, you know, the Bladezilla knife of the year, and I don't know how it wouldn't be the Astrum personally production knife, because we've had Astrum custom divisions, we've had sprint runs, we've had first productions, we've had the Touch Astrum, and now the production Astrum come through, and it is by far one of the coolest knives Shiro does. And I've got a whole video on, actually, you know what, I think I did this exact knife, because when I filmed that I was like, I'm going to take one of these knives, I don't know which one, and I ended up taking this one, which is the one from the video, and made it mine. So there is a video of this whole knife for half hour or whatever, talking about the Astrum production. It's just a stunning knife. Definitely worthy of the knife of the year, I think. Let's go back up here. Let's get some other sizes. I've got another F3. Also, I think this one's an L Max too. Yeah, L Max, but G10. More the same knife, right? Just a little different texture-wise. We can do a. Well, I could do a Quantium. Why not? I've got a tan Quantium beside me for a change. Show that Quantium, sorry, versus the F3. And then in terms of the big guys, you know, we can do the RJs, right? That's a Russian Overkill full tie. We can do the Dr. Death full tie, also a really cool knife. I always talk about that one just based on the flipper tab being so far back from the center of the pivot. And then my Loxa, I can also do that one as well. Which, once again, that could easily be also the knife of the year. I really don't know. Production knife of the year, well, yeah. The Astrum would be an easy one, I think. The Loxa's probably one of the highest demand Shirogorov special edition collabs we've ever seen in the last 5 years. Such a cool knife. Once again, I did a video on this one as well. And on actually this one, once again, I said I'm keeping it, so I did. I do have another Loxa in the store. I don't know if I think I showed it right off the hop. I do have one in the store right now, a different one. Number 87. This is number 52, I believe. But 87's in the store right now for anyone born in 1987. That's pretty cool. Just such a cool first integral for Shiro ever done. And they say it's a series of 100, but I would argue that there's not 100 of them. I'll tell you that for certain. But we're talking about this F3, so there's some good size comparisons on that knife, and in a number of different locking styles and rarities and availabilities. If I was looking at an F3 today, and I still have a bunch of F3s, I think, on the site. I don't really know what I have. I think I've got some more of those black G10 ones, and I might have some other ones. I can't remember. Some micarta ones, maybe? I'd have to look. But if I was buying an F3 today, 2024, early 2025, I would get one of these guys. Alutex is such a special material. It's a high-end material. It looks fantastic. The light pops off of it. Oh, it's gorgeous. And then this specific F3, you get, instead of a G10 backspacer, you get full titanium. Okay, it doesn't have the gears cut into it. There may have been cost savings associated with that. I don't know. But the fact that it's titanium and not G10 is a huge home run in my books. You get an LMAX blade, which looks unreal. LMAX is, you know, a super sexy material. It's a hard using material. It's great. You get the tie collars as well around here instead of the G10 collars, which look incredible, look great. You obviously have this amazing milling work. I don't know if the camera's gonna be able to see that detail, but look at it in 4K, you'll see there's some horizontal milling on the clip. It's gorgeous. And actually, fun fact, all the smooth roll up here as well is also milled. I'm going to tuck that blade in and show you from the other side. And if you look closely, it's actually milling lines that creates a perfect roll on the clip there. Unless you're looking for it, you're not going to see it. From a distance, it looks like it's just like folded material, but it's actually milled that way to look so good. I think that's just sharp. This is the kind of stuff I would take photos of on Instagram, just because it's so cool. Obviously on this guy you've got two different styles of hardware. I would suggest getting the tool on this knife. It's kind of at a price point where you're you know, I can't remember, $800-900 US, something like that. You're getting to that point where you don't want to be damaging your pivots. Get the tool. You could just as easily get it apart using a penny or a screwdriver, but you will damage that material. It sucks, but it happens. And on most models, they would typically attach this clip internally, but in this case, it's external. And to show you what I'm talking about, let's grab that F95 or that Hattie. This is what I'm referring to, right? The clip normally is just kind of no screws on the outside. It would be attached internal on the inside. Let's just, you're not going to see it, I guess, but it's just on the inside of here. Just bloop, a little screw there. It's the same screw as this guy right here, but just on the inside. This one's a CCKS special, I think S90V. Yep. Version of a Hattie, which is cool. I do have some predictions, by the way, for I think a knife that might be coming, which we'll talk about later. In their production line, I just have some, I have zero inside information, but I just have some ideas, and I've been right before, so I may as well get into that now. But so in the F3s, I've seen some showpieces of the F3 NSs that have been popping out over in Europe, and they've had some Magna Cut blades on them. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, whoa, that's new. And no one's really said anything about them. No one's really posted them, because I think the North American community, they're not as connected to the European community or the Russian community. And so, you know, I don't know if they went to a show and launched 50 of these, 5 of these, 10 of these, 100, 1. But the fact is that there's some F3 NSs with Magna Cut blades floating around in Russia right now. And I go, huh, I wonder if we're going to see those at some point in the next quarter. By the time they get over to North America, they haven't done an F3 NS since, it would have been the Elemental series in the F3s, I think. I don't know if they did any production items past that point. So I would predict, and this would be my 2025 bold prediction, I would predict we may be on the cusp of some more F3 NSs. Because if they're doing them as show knives there, then they're probably in full swing production of some kind, of some capacity. If they're MagnaCut, great. If they're M390, even better. But it'd be nice to see some more high-end production F3 NSs kind of come down the pipe, because it's been a while. On that note, on the Elemental series, I'm assuming, we did the 111 Terrace not too long ago now, but it's probably been 6 weeks. I'm thinking, maybe another couple weeks, maybe another couple months. I'm assuming they're going to continue that series. Assuming it is a series, but, Terrace. Anyway, it should be fun. It should be fun. And once again, I have no insider info. If we look on the inside of this guy, let's take a peek. Some big chunks of material taken out on the inside of this one to kind of give you that nice wavy pattern that we all love. Looks so good on the inside of this one. You see all the screws and milling. Oh, they're gorgeous. When you take these things apart, they're as pretty inside, or sometimes even better on the inside than externally. They're just gorgeous pieces. Lots of high-end milling and attention to detail, excellent tolerances, and just a gorgeous, gorgeous knife on the inside of these bad boys. You have a raised lock bar as well. So when I roll that knife, you can see the lock bar is raised from one side right here. So that little bevel there, it's raised. So your thumb finds it nice and easy. It's so comfortable in hand. Don't get me wrong, this knife is a little fatter than an F95 or a Quantum. That's kind of just been the F3 motto. It really feels like you're holding, like a stock on a gun. Like it's just really nice, form-fitting, smooth. Or it feels like you're holding a pistol, right? Like it's just really natural. We've got the jimping up top here on the blade, on that LMAX blade. We do not have anything on the back here, as I mentioned earlier. Typically they match that, so it looks a little different, but the jimping's definitely usable. It's flat on top all the way down to the tip. Quite nice, so you can choke up, do fine slicing. And on production knives, people use them. In the Shiro world, people use the hell out of these knives, so they're definitely made to take an abuse. And I highly recommend that, if you want an F3 user, this would be fantastic for it. Some personalization with that handle color, the brown, which I'm kind of calling it red brown, maybe purple brown, but they're calling it brown. It's certainly more purple than brown, in my opinion. Looks terrific. What would you say? Would you say it's brown, or would you say it's red, or would you say purple? I think it's like purple. Like a maroon. So nice. You still have the Shiro bear on the blade in the corner. Really nicely etched on there. Looks good. My preference for these guys is obviously to have that on the heel, right down here, as they've done on the Astrum and the Stellar. And I'll show you what I'm talking about on the Astrum. It's on there instead of being on the blade. It's completely absent, as you can see. So I like it on the handle, but it's also a full tie knife where you can do that. I don't think milling Alutex would look very good with a bear on it, but a guy can dream. I think that'd be interesting to see, nonetheless. On the flip side, we do have LMAX written on there, as I mentioned earlier, which is kind of even on their high-end Shiros from custom divisions, sprint runs, and up. They have always put it on the blade there, basically. In a dream world, I would love to see it kind of in here somewhere. But that's a dreamland. They used to do it on some of the custom divisions they did that on, and it went well, but then they kind of went back to it, so there must have been a reason. I'm not opposed either way, but it's just nice to get it kind of hidden a little bit. Multi-row bearings should be stamped somewhere on here because they're on multi-row bearings. They're normally up here, but I think on this one they're back here. Can we see? Yeah, there it is. MRBS, multi-row bearing system, which is Shiro's high-end production triple bearing system on this knife. Some of them are two, but it's you know, pinwheel pattern of 3 balls in a circle, and that adds really good side-to-side stability contact between the blade and the frame, right? And then obviously like silky smooth action, which is just, you don't see anywhere else in the Shiro. Oh god, this is that's ridiculous for a knife that's not even broken in, like just ridiculous. Silky smooth, looks, it's just so controlled, and what I love, I always say this, you can park it, you typically can park it and it won't drop, right? But then with like a little bump, there she goes. So really nice, smooth, controlled action on that. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. So to me, like this guy, oh, and I guess I could show this, right? Perfectly centered out of the box. Full hand ground blade as well. They're all different. That gap is always just a little different between them. Really nice knife. And so extra large glove for me. I've got room for an extra finger if I had one, and that clip falls away inside my palm. The F3s make really good ambidextrous knives for lefties as well, just so you guys are aware, but you cannot flip, as far as I know, you cannot flip pocket clip on these. But I do wonder if I'm looking at this. No, we're not going to even go there. No, it's single-sided. But a lot of people like F3s. A lot of people like the liner lock, the tab lock knives for lefties. And I would agree. Makes a good knife. So, what makes this knife special? Obviously, other than everything I've just talked about. So the handles, you know, Alutex is unreal material. Elmax blade instead of Chromax. And then the high-end finishing and around the tie pivots, right? Or the tie rings around the screw, as they call them. Yeah. Like on that other one, let me grab that G10 version just to show you, right? Because that's a separate G10. It's almost like pressed in, I think, to do the same thing. But those, we call them pivot collars. If you get a pivot collar that's tie, it just looks so nice. Such a nice touch. And then that full tie back spacer as well. And I didn't even mention, yeah, you can put a lanyard on here if you want. Makes a lot of sense. I did mention on, I think it was the F3 Orange or Emerald video, I talked about how, you know, the Alutex, you know, there's a big chunk of it on both sides of that lanyard hole, kind of exposed, and I'd be kind of curious to see, you know, 5 years from now if anyone's ever chipped chunks of this off, because there is a little bit of a piece there on both sides. I don't think it'd be a problem because it's also screwed down right here and right here, but that would be the only thing I would really pay attention to. Otherwise, multi-row bearings, tie liner lock, pivot collars, machine pivot in tie, looks fantastic. Back spacer, Elmax blade, like it's just ticking all the boxes at a price point that I originally brought in, and during the video I was actually asking myself, I'm like, am I saying the price on this right? This doesn't make sense. This is really, really value priced given the materials. I'm like, this could easily be $250 more. And nope, they somehow did it. And I guess that could be a big reason why, lo and behold, they've been flying out of here. Because they're just really good value. And it's a good knife. It's a really good knife. Purple's not for everybody, orange isn't for everybody, green's not for everybody, blue's not for everybody. And yet, they're all offered in Alutex, which is so cool. So what do you guys think? Brown, purple, what do you think it is? Red, brown, purple, maroon? I think it just looks good either way. Whatever you want to call it. It's a good looking knife. So, yeah, or blueberry maybe? Almost like a blueberry, like a stained blueberry. Cool. All right, well, I've got nothing really else for you. I just wanted to show you the knife, and I honestly thought this would be 10 minutes and not really have anything to talk about. I didn't prepare anything to talk about, so hopefully you had fun. I'm finally getting over my cold, and I apologize if I don't have my regular Jaguar-like purr, but we're working on it, and hopefully over the holidays with some rest, should come right back. But I did want to show this knife before this stack gets inputted on the site, and she gone. So yeah, guys, that's the F3 Alutex in brown with LMAX blade. Looks terrific. Highly recommend it. Really like it. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube if you're here right now. Just throw a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Check out the store. Send me an email. Chat more than anything. You know, it's a passion first. So love chatting with you guys. Have yourself a fantastic week, and we'll see you soon. And if not, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays, all that good stuff. Appreciate you as always. Peace, guys.